What's going on, everybody? My name is Clue. Today is the very first episode of Vinyl Storytime, where I share records that have really shaped my life. And I held a poll because you guys know I have a lot of vinyls in the back. But y'all have voted on Michael Jackson Thriller. This album was my very first introduction to music. I was about 3 or 4 years old. I remember waking up from a nap from my very first conscious moment on earth, mind you. That is my very first memory on earth is this album. So I wake up from a nap, I walk about 2 or 3 steps to the living room. We had a little house, it wasn't that big. And we only had one TV, so whatever my parents were watching, that's what I was watching. They were watching MTV, back when MTV used to play music videos that actually play music instead of Rob Dyrdek's ridiculousness over and over again. A Michael Jackson Billie Jean music video popped up, and from then on, I was hooked. Think about that, from 3 or 4 years old all the way till today, which at the time I'm recording this, I'm 25 years old. This album still finds ways to inspire me and really connect with my life. I remember watching that music video as a little kid and just seeing the sidewalk light up, his voice, the beat. It just hooks you, man. That moment planted a seed for everything that was gonna come to the future. And here's a really cool connection. My grandma, who used to live in Gary, Indiana, actually used to see Michael Jackson go to school when he was a little kid back in the Jackson 5 days with his brothers. It's so crazy that one of my biggest inspirations for music and one of my idols in terms of artists just really has a very small connection to my family, but that small connection really means a lot to me. I remember when he passed away in 2009, I was devastated, man. I was playing Michael Jackson The Experience. I was learning his dance moves, learning his songs from a very early age. And this album right here was constantly on repeat. I remember begging my mom to buy me the CD because we had a little radio, and I would just constantly play over and over again. I am going to share a few more stories and kind of break down how each track really connects to my life, but I have yet to open this vinyl, so what better way to open it than now? All right, man, so here we are. Hopefully I don't struggle too much on camera. This is a lot of plastic. All right, the world's best-selling album of all time, mind you, before I take this off, because this was at a time before streaming. Even as a 25-year-old, I know how difficult it was to sell a record back then, especially when this album came out, because people have to go to the store and actually buy your music. Nowadays, you can kind of have your groceries delivered to you. Everything is kind of sent to your house, but to go to the store and buy your album and it being the world's best-selling album of all time still, that's pretty insane. All right, so I almost got the plastic off. All right, here we are. This is the back, the track list, nothing too crazy, but we do got the iconic album cover. I even got the Funko Pop right there in the corner right there. This dude is wearing a blazer with a hoodie underneath. That is crazy. All right, man, let's open this up. Let's see what we got. Oh, I never actually opened this before. This is pretty cool. Oh, wow. Oh, it's got the lyrics to all the songs in here too. Not only does it have that, it has a lot of the credits in here. This is pretty insane. You know, just a basic black vinyl, but I ain't mad at it. This album is too iconic. Oh, this actually opens up too. Woo! Yo, I did not know this album opened up. I've had this album for a couple years now, and I never opened it out the plastic. But I'm so glad I did. Dude, I can hang it up just like this next to the Funko Pop that I have right here. As you can see, another favorite artist of mine is The Weeknd, who sounds a lot like Michael Jackson vocally. But check out that picture right there, man. I don't know if the camera could focus in, but look how cool that is. Then here's the back side. This is also a really cool picture. So the very first picture is the Girl Is Mine with Paul McCartney, and the second picture in the back is a depiction of Thriller. Man, I'm so glad I opened this, man. This was really cool. Now the next show I'm gonna have is kind of hanging it back on my wall because it opens up, so we'll see how I'm gonna do that. You know, as I got older, the Thriller album really aged with me. You know, at 10 I was starting to notice grooves and like the instruments, all the different layers, and just me mimicking his dance moves. I was able to kind of feel the music. By the time I picked up a guitar, that was about the age. I started guitar when I was in college, but I quickly gave up because it was too hard. But I picked it back up when I was 23, 24 years old, and it taught me more about rhythm than any other lesson I've ever had. Tracks like I Want to Be Starting Something and PYT really helps with my timing and strumming patterns and just kind of being in the pocket. And being in the pocket is only something people with a great ear for music can really do. I mean, let's talk about what makes this album a masterpiece. I mean, it's very tight, innovative, creative, and fearless. It's a very cohesive album, not that many tracks compared to the standard of today's albums. There's no wasted time. Every second counts, no filler at all. Everything from top to bottom is a banger. 7 top 10 singles, 33 times platinum in the US or something like that. Released on November 30th, 1982. And I'm in 2025 talking about this. My grandma's parents knew about Michael Jackson. My grandma knows about Michael Jackson. My dad knows about Michael Jackson. I know about Michael Jackson. My kids are more than likely going to know who Michael Jackson is. Their kids are going to know for sure. So generation after generation, this album is going to live on. All right, man, let's talk about track 1, Wanna Be Starting Something. The opening energy, the rhythm, the tension, pure adrenaline from the very first second to the last second. I feel this track in my chest. You can really hear just every single sound. It makes you want to move before you even know how to move. So especially when he says mama said mama sa makusa, mama said, nobody knows what that means, but everybody sings it, especially when he strips the beat out and it's just a clap with mama said mama sa makusa, mama said. Dude, that is very infectious. There's no way you can hate that. Okay, the second track is Baby Be Mine. That is a very smooth gem. It has a lot of those love synths in there, very romantic. It keeps the romantic tension throughout the entire track. It's one that I was able to really kind of feel as I got older, because as a little kid, you don't really know about love or liking somebody that much. But as you got older, it really connects with you, especially with the next track being The Girl Is Mine with Paul McCartney. Very iconic, a little cheesy, but you appreciate it more as you get older. Now here's where the heavy hitters really lie. Thriller, that iconic music video. I remember as a little kid watching that music video when I saw the twitching, the whole choreography, the dancing. Everything about that was so iconic. It really sticks with me, that memory of my first music. I'm glad it was Michael Jackson and those music videos, because that is crazy. A very cinematic feeling. It feels like you're watching a horror movie with a funky beat. Scary, but makes you want to dance and have a good time at the same time. This song is like what Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas, that Christmas song, what it does for that holiday time is what Michael Jackson Thriller does for Halloween. Even without the video, the production really tells a story. You obviously got the iconic Beat It. I mean, that intro to rock, that was my intro to rock guitar, man. I mean, I wasn't really that expansive with my music taste early on, but that Eddie Van Halen solo really blew my mind. It made me want to switch styles and not stay in the box, because when I first got guitar, it was just to play my favorite songs, mainly R&B stuff. But then I listened to Michael Jackson obviously regularly, and I was like, you know what, I want to play this too. And then I see the different styles, the different techniques. I'm just like, wow. I remember as a beginner trying to learn Beat It, that was extremely difficult. I'm an advanced beginner, early intermediate guitar player now, so I can play majority of Beat It. I cannot play the solo. I'm still trying to learn. It's extremely tough. That stretchy part by Van Halen is this thing that still holds me back, but I'm gonna get there one day. And then Billie Jean, my very first song on this earth that I remember hearing. What can I say, man? It's still perfect. Bass line, vocals, atmosphere. The track introduced me to groove, subtle tension, mystery. It's very hypnotic. And then the next track, which is probably one of my favorite Michael Jackson songs of all time, which is Human Nature. This one is very spiritual. I play it when I want to like feel at peace and just kind of feel in tune with everything around me, maybe the world. Just from the lyrics, the production, the smoothness of it, just really, I don't know how to explain it. You just can feel it, man. This was the very first Michael Jackson song that I learned from start to finish on guitar, and I just play it, man, just to feel something sometimes. Next track is PYT, another very iconic song. I was able to really enjoy this one as a kid, especially more as I got older. It's one of those fun, playful tracks that I want to love you, PYT, but then like you meet somebody and then you can kind of sing the song with them. It just feels like a really great pick-me-up track. Chop vocals, genius. It's been sampled by many of the current day songs today, so hey man, you cannot escape this song. And then one of the most underrated tracks from Michael Jackson, in my opinion, when it comes to my generation, is The Lady in My Life. That is a very, very great R&B centered track. I mean, it's closing on a soft and sensual note. Underrated slow jam that taught me how powerful restraint can be in music. Like, there's so much tension, but it's so very smooth at the same time. Like, it was a very perfect song to end the album, given how much energy was coming beforehand. And just that that oh my gosh, perfect ending to the album. You know, this album has really shaped me, just from learning how to dance, learning, well, I can't sing at all, but just even imitating singers, seeing things in the production that I have never heard before. I mean, we are never gonna get another artist like Michael Jackson ever in life. That's why I listen to artists. Some of my favorite artists are artists that kind of have resemblance of Michael Jackson, like The Weeknd vocally. Chris Brown, whatever you guys got to say about him, that's a different story, but I'm talking about his music, the way he performs and all that, the dancing, the singing too, the songwriting, everything about it. Just, you can never really replicate him, but when you got some sort of resemblance, also like Bruno Mars, when you get any sort of resemblance, it's gonna stick with me. Think about that, man. From age 3, my very first conscious moment, to now, age 25, and even before I was born, my grandma knowing and seeing Michael Jackson in person semi-regularly when they went to school, it's just so crazy. And this album just is so, like, it just really means a lot to me. And I could talk about the Michael Jackson Bad album, which I do plan to get that vinyl too. A lot of his projects are just very awesome. We are never going to get another artist like Michael Jackson ever again. If you got an album that really connects to you as much as this one connects with me, go ahead and share it in the comments below. We all connect with music a different way, all have different experiences, so I'm really curious to know what y'all got to say. If you enjoyed this video, man, make sure you give it a like, and if you really rock with me, go ahead and subscribe. I do plan to do more videos like this with all the vinyls. I got The Weeknd, House of Balloons, J. Cole 2014, Forest Hills Drive, Bryson Tiller, Trap Soul, Blonde, Frank Ocean, which, wow, those albums have really done a number on me. And I do plan to get way more vinyls in the future and kind of continue doing this video, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Also, if you want the full and uncut album reactions that are on my channel, go ahead and sign up for the Patreon. You get early access to all of them. Again, you get them uncut, unedited, because the YouTube versions are edited. You also get other exclusive perks if you want them, but that's up to you. And that is it for me. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.